Wasting time. Wasting time.
I want to get an idea of like, at that point where the community sentiment really shifted away from you being, really sick, really amazing player, that kind of thing, to being like public enemy number one for North America. How did this sort of impact you as an individual? Did you really like start to struggle with your mindset, your mentality, and what is it like basically being on the receiving end of that bandwagon shift? Because I've had some Reddit threads and stuff about my casting and that sort of thing, so I kind of understand, but I've never been like constantly shit on by everyone. There's always been someone that's like, oh, actually, I don't mind these guys. But I feel like I went back and looked at the longer tweet, and it just seems like every reply that you got was someone basically shitting on you. So what was that like?
I think it was more because from being a player that was kind of like, I think I was a little bit overrated also on top of that, but being a player that was like, Rickeh should join Liquid, Rickeh should join Optic, blah, 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 all this stuff, to Rickeh is absolutely pathetic. Like, why is he still here? It affected me in a way that, again, hindsight's a bitch. You have to completely brush it off as a professional, and especially for how long I've been a professional in North America, there's no way you should let something like that affect you. But there's also external things that happen, whether it be in your everyday life or, for me personally, it's because I felt just so alone and such in a limbo place and not knowing where this team's going and what's happening. And not only that, it's just a bunch of different things that all end up piling into one, and it all hit me so fast that I just lost my mind.
You sort of
So
broke down in a way, or like,
yeah, I just broke down, dude. I just completely broke down. And even Jason Lake said in I think he was doing an interview or he was on a podcast with Richard Lewis, and he said, look, he said, there's no hard feelings on Rick. I think he kind of needed a break. He needed to fucking get his mind back together and stuff. And obviously it was showing towards the end. He didn't mention that I went to hospital or anything, but it's like, it's not necessary to mention. The only reason I'm mentioning that is to give people like kind of an insight of what I was going through personally and how serious it actually was. And that's basically it. But he said, Rick needed a break, and it obviously showed.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, he knows that I didn't mean to do that to him and Complexity, because they treated me so well, man, and they had everything that a player needs to be a good player.
I think it's important context as well for, I feel like I'm sort of like this, whatever I say right now is probably going to fall on deaf ears, because the kind of people that are going to go kind of ham on a player or something like that are probably not the kind of people that are going to get 2.5 hours into a podcast from that one player. But I think it's important for people to know that, like, even though you may just be a name in a Twitch chat, or you may just be someone on Twitter, an anonymous user, what you do say to players and what you say to the community figures is actually something that they do end up inevitably reading and seeing, and it impacts people more than they probably expect it to. So that would be like my little preach maybe, in a way. So be nice. Be nice to people.
Wasting time. Wasting time.